Hi guys, so when I posted the video about the recently released essay allegations against Trump in the Epstein Files, I got some pretty interesting comments. Seamus wrote, quote, "This is the biggest BS story ever. Trump would never have risked his business empire. If it were true, it would have come out a long time ago and there would be numerous legitimate accusers. Trump had his pick of any woman he wanted. This goes against Trump's character. Nadia, you should know better." Both Doris and Colleen wrote that they're, quote, not buying it, and Edward wrote, quote, "Shame on you, Nadia, for real. This doesn't even sound like Trump, knowing that he has daughters himself." And honestly, these are all good points. After all, there's a lot of BS out there, and he does have 2 daughters, which to any normal person would mean that he'd never abuse women, especially young women, because only a monster would do that. Am I right? So do the allegations against Trump go against his character, or were there signs all along? To answer this, let's take a short trip down memory lane. Now, as always, I strive to bring you guys the facts to help you come to your own informed conclusions. So I want to take a minute to share new information that I just got recently. I posted a video about a voice recording in the Epstein Files that sounds a lot like Erika Kirk. But a source on Reddit by the name of My Money Honey 26 contested that it was Kirk and shared a link to what appears to be official documents from Palm Beach PD. Appears to be. When I clicked the link, I got 22 pages of documents, and on the 3rd page, it states, quote, "During the course of the investigation, parental consent was granted for SG to assist with the investigation. At our direction, SG conducted controlled tape phone calls to Robson's cellular telephone at 561 blah, blah, blah. SG spoke with Robson in an attempt to arrange another meeting with Epstein. SG asked Robson what did she need to do to make more money. Robson stated, quote, 'The more you do, the more you get paid.' I'll leave the link below so you can check it out for yourselves." Now, according to My Money Honey 22, this verifies that the speaker wasn't Erika, but Haley Robson. Okay, maybe. What I did find weird about these documents is that page blank of 22 is typed at the bottom of each page, but the actual page numbers are clearly written in. I'm not sure what that means, if it means anything, and I can't verify that these files are legit. I'm just passing along the information for clarity. A quick reminder that I can't do any of this without you guys. So if you haven't already, please hit subscribe and turn your notifications to all. It's free, and your support really does go a long way to help the channel grow. So thanks in advance. Now, let's get into it. (1992) Christmas. While giving an interview to Entertainment Tonight at Trump Tower...
Okay, you start and I'm ready.
In the wake of questions and allegations about Donald Trump's behavior towards women, ET discovered this footage in our archive, which we provided to CBS News.
Soon. Thursday night. You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it? Okay.
Now, to give you some context, I'm not sure how old that little girl was. 9, 10, but Trump was 46. So, and isn't it weird how everybody just laughed at his comment? How everyone thought it was just hilarious that a 46-year-old millionaire was eyeballing this little girl for a future conquest? But maybe I'm making too much of this, you know? Maybe it was all in good fun. So, let's press on. 1994. During a Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous interview, host Robin Leach asked Trump what traits his 1-year-old daughter Tiffany got from each of her parents.
Trump and then-wife Marla Maples appeared on the TV show Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous back in 1994. Host Robin Leach asked about their daughter Tiffany, who was then just a year old.
Now, Donna, what does Tiffany have of yours and what does Tiffany have of Marla's?
Well, I think that she's got a lot of moral, and she's really a beautiful baby, and she's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
She was 1, a 1-year-old baby. Not just any baby either, his baby. And his first reaction was to talk about her boobs. When asked for his reaction to the backlash 22 years later, Leach said,
"What do you make of the critics' reaction?"
I think it's an overreaction, to be really honest, and I think that it's just a piling on of those that dislike Donald. You've triggered a thought that I should send him a note saying, sorry I asked the question 22 years ago. How ridiculous they dig it up now.
Right. Because when someone makes a lewd remark about their own kid, it's the interviewer's fault for ever even asking the question. Shame on you, Robin Leach. You should know better. So now we have it's all in good fun and it's an overreaction. Got it. Let's press on. 2002, New York Magazine's profile on Jeffrey Epstein. When asked, Trump said, quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life." A far cry from Trump's February 2nd claim that he was, quote, never friendly with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, come on. But let's ignore that for now. If you're touting a friend for an interview, of course you'd say how great they are. And you'd also mention what binds your friendship. Like, we both love the Yankees and we never miss a game, or we're both into deep sea fishing and go every year, etc., to kind of give insight into how you two connected. And apparently, what they had in common, what bound Trump to this terrific guy Epstein, was that they both liked beautiful women who were on the, quote, younger side. Now, by itself, it's gross, but in context, it's a pattern. 2004, Trump's being interviewed on the Howard Stern show when Stern brings up Ivanka.
My daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of.
Yeah.
Yeah? Look, I don't know about you, but the men that I know would be in prison for murder if a guy even thinks about calling their daughter a piece of ass. But Trump had no issue with it. In fact, he agreed. This doesn't sound like a protective father. Does it, Edward? Or maybe we just have different definitions of what being a father is. 2005. During yet another Stern interview, the Miss USA pageants were brought up, and Trump said, quote, "I'll go backstage and everyone's getting dressed and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant and therefore I'm inspecting it. I sort of get away with things like that." End quote. It's just a little abuse of power, you guys. Nothing to see here. 2006. During an interview on The View with his daughter Ivanka by his side, Trump was asked what he would do if Playboy magazine put Ivanka on its cover.
If they were using her to...
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop it. You know what? You are sick. Yeah.
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I would be dating her. What? I don't have to explain why this is sick AF, right? 2013, again, Trump and Ivanka appeared together on the Wendy Williams Show when Wendy asked what they have in common.
Okay, look, we want to know a little bit more about you guys, so we play this game here. It's called Fave 5. I'll ask the question. Ivanka, you answer first, and then Dad, you answer also.
This is tough.
Okay, Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
Oh, that was Hulk Hogan creepy.
Why? Just why? 2015, during an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, reporter Paul Solotaroff compliments Ivanka, to which Trump responds, quote, "Yeah, she's really something. What a beauty. If I weren't happily married and, her father," vomit. Look, these clips and interviews don't necessarily prove that Trump is guilty of the allegations against him in the Epstein Files, but they do show a pattern. Trump publicly sexualized girls, very young women, beauty pageant contestants, and even his own daughters for decades. If you don't believe the accusations against Trump because you think that if the allegations were true, either Obama or Biden would have released them, then you're missing the big picture. Think like a detective. You're investigating a murder and discover that two suspects who blame each other for the crime both knew a vital piece of evidence, and yet neither one of them came forward with it. What would your conclusion be? That the evidence isn't relevant? Or that the evidence would make them both complicit? The fact that no one released the files, no matter what party was in the White House, doesn't prove that the files aren't credible. It proves that partisanship is a ruse. I've been telling you guys this for years. There is no partisanship in the halls of power. There is only power, and the powerful work together. And besides, if the allegations were baseless, then why would this administration work so hard to suppress them? Why all the distractions? One of the most damning interviews I've seen about Trump's alleged Epstein-related crimes is of ex-Israeli intelligence officer Ari Ben-Menashe on Going Underground.
I believe that the American government is sort of trapped by the Israelis. Jeffrey Epstein is one of their tools to trap them. I want to give you an example. Bill Clinton, President Bill Clinton, Ehud Barak met Arafat in the 90s, and there was no deal. The reason was Epstein. They were being blackmailed by Epstein. Ehud Barak was also a friend of Epstein, the prime minister of Israel at the time. But he was being blackmailed by the Israeli right wing as well. And they stopped an agreement with Arafat. They were about to reach an agreement there for a two-state solution. But that was stopped because of Epstein. They were both being blackmailed by Epstein.
And so Jeffrey Epstein, in a way, presumably being used as a tool by the Israelis, helped to change the course of history in this region I'm speaking to you from.
Of course, a change thing. And they trapped a number of U.S. presidents by using Jeffrey Epstein. And it wasn't only about sex, it was also the money issue. Where was the money coming from? But everything is stuck over Gaza. And I believe the Israelis have the American government captive due to what happens with Epstein, or what happened in the past with Epstein. Rupert Murdoch, newspaper, Wall Street Journal, put out that card or something, a birthday card Trump sent to Epstein. Where do you think they got it from? And I don't think Trump wants to continue this war or the genocide. I think it's the Israelis holding him back. You know, people look at these pictures of starving children all over the world, and there's a lot of pressure on these politicians to say enough, to tell them enough is enough. I'm not sure how far this will go. And I think the Israelis are committing harakiri on themselves by doing this, because eventually they will be stopped. I believe that he can end the genocide right now if he just stops being scared of the Israelis. What are they going to say about him? How many girls did he abuse? How many billions of dollars he took? Let them say whatever they say. He should stop the genocide. Let them do whatever they want to do. Morality should take over. I encourage him to stop the genocide at any price. I hope Donald Trump will have the interest of the United States and the Middle East at heart and do the right thing.
I couldn't agree more. So what do you guys think? Do you still think the allegations go against Trump's character? Or do the accusations track? Should we, as Americans, be able to expect our president to make whatever personal sacrifice necessary to protect our nation's interests? Or are we willing to risk the future of our country for the sake of an illusion, and perhaps even for our own personal pride? Because we don't want to admit that we were wrong, that we were mistaken, that we were duped. Let me know in the comments. See you in the next vid.